Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we have, once again, some very special guests here for you. A couple of different segments. The Easter Bunny is here. Woo! We all have to be good, right?
Yes, got to get those Easter eggs.
That's right. So we're going to be talking about that with our friends from Buckeye Furnace. But first, we have some friends here from somewhere called Field of Hope. And we are so proud to have you here today, and we're going to talk about some of the services that you offer and some of the good things that you're doing for our community, and we appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, very good. And so Kevin and Amber are here, and we're going to talk with them about Field of Hope and also an event that they have coming up that's very special for you right after this message.
Yep.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, and we are back on this Friday with our friends from Field of Hope, and we're so happy to have you here today. And we were talking off the air a little bit about Field of Hope, and so I guess I would love for you first off to kind of talk about what it is, where it is, and what all you do.
We're located in Gallia County, Ohio. We're on a 46-acre site. It's former North Gallia High School. And we've got lots of room there for our building, for our activities. It's pretty neat. We have a fishing pond on site. We got a tractor garage where we do our equipment repair. But anyway, the Field of Hope was born out of a vision. We were in a church across the road. The pastor called me in his office one day and he said, "What do you see across the road?" And this building had lain empty for 15 years, and there was trees growing out of the roof.
Oh,
it was
wow.
a mess.
Pigeons in the gym.
Yeah, the vandals had ripped all the wiring and the piping out of the walls. There was concrete blocks
How
everywhere.
sad to see that.
Yes, full of asbestos. He said, "What do you see?" I said, "I see a messed up building and a lot of trash." And he said, "You know what I see? Our community's being ravaged by the drug problem." And he said, "I see hope over there. I see a place that could be used, bring it back to life, and then see many people have their lives restored as well."
Okay, I have chills. That is awesome.
And so we began the process. The Field of Hope didn't even have a name yet. It was just an empty field with this old abandoned building. We had no money. We let the word out about the vision. We were praying about it. And a local business person stepped up and said, "What's the cost of that?" And the 46 acres, the old building, was $100,000. Might as well have been $100 million because we didn't have any money.
Right. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yep. And a local
$1.
business person said, "Well, we've decided we're going to get that for you." They had substance abuse issues in their family.
Okay.
And saw the need for that. And so they stepped up, provided the property, provided the money for that. We bought it, started cleaning it up.
Wow.
I had an amazing group of volunteers. It's just one prayer at a time, one plan at a time. We were able to clean all the asbestos out. The experts told us it would cost $1 million. And I'm actually a former retired employee from American Electric Power.
Okay.
And I was certified in asbestos abatement and project supervising and all that. And I had a plan before we bought the building. And in Ohio, working within those rules. But long story short, that $1 million job ended up costing us $10,000. And we did it with all volunteers, trained them up, all safely perform work and all that. So anyway, that started our building, and then we began one step at a time, converting the old building into offices. In 2017, we put our first treatment house behind the building, main building called the Hope House, for 16 ladies. We're residential for women. We are outpatient for men and women. And all that Amber mentioned, talk about the services we do. It truly has transformed many lives, saved many lives, and given hope to a community.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Very good. I think this is amazing. Amber, I want to ask you, what would you say to people that live under a rock and say that there's not a drug problem in our area? It doesn't happen here.
I think everybody in our communities knows somebody or have somebody in their family or friends or a child's friend at school that their family. I don't think there isn't anybody that hasn't been touched by it in our community. So I think people kind of shy away, and there's a stigma about that. But there's help and there's hope, and it's okay to go reach out and get it. Don't be afraid, to go and get that help. So I think everybody's been touched by it.
And I think you're exactly right. And there's no economic class with addiction. There's no. It's just kind of the same across the board.
Yeah.
Yes, and Amber has a story. Our family was we're typical, I guess you'd say, middle class family, and you're absolutely right. It cuts across all lines.
Yes, it does.
Amber, I don't know, Amber, you might, if you're okay with that, share a little bit of your story.
Yeah, I think that because it makes it certainly relevant on how you're where you are today. And we're so proud of you for being where you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started out in basketball when I was 13, tore my ACL, and they put me on prescription pain medicine, and that was the start of my addiction and journey. And I had a scholarship to go to college and play ball, went down the tubes. Went into nursing. I was about 3 months away from being an RN when I finally dropped out due to my drug addiction. And started catching my first charges. Between 2000 to 2015, I had racked up probably about 16 to 18 felonies in that time period, and ended up incarcerated in prison twice. Several times in jail, and my family, they did not enable me, but they was there for me, and showed me there could be something different. And when I finally seen that in myself, that I could be different, then I went back to school, started working at the Field of Hope, being able to share that hope and that sliver of just that they can get out of that hole, and we're going to get in the hole with you. So if somebody's in a hole, you can talk to them down in the hole all you want, but to have somebody jump in that hole with you and say, we're going to dig out of this together and get through this. So that's what we do at Field of Hope.
That is amazing. And, I'm sure that people from the outside looking in are looking at this girl who's obviously an incredible athlete, lovely girl, and saying, what on earth is this girl doing? She's ruining her life. She's so talented and so beautiful, and why is she doing this?
Yeah. There's a stat that, and this is a few years old. Maybe it's changed a little bit, but probably not a lot. Back when heroin was the drug choice that was rampant around here.
Yes.
80% of heroin addicts started with prescription pills, many of them from athletic injuries. So
Isn't that wild?
It really is. I mean, the story Amber tells us that not that much different from a lot of folks that go down this path of addiction.
Mm-hmm. And some are born into it, but like you said, there's no economic standard for addiction. It can touch any home, any person. Some people do grow up with it within their families, and it's passed down, and then
generational.
Yes. And then some people just get into it with friends, peer pressure in school, and that's what I tell kids all the time. Like, it's fun when you're in school. We're going to go party and drink every weekend and do these things, but then what happens when you're out of school? Oh, I'm a full-blown addict now. So now, what do I do?
It's not funny and cute anymore.
No.
That's right.
And I think kids think they can stop, and it's just for the time period. And some can, but not all can, and then end up, we have them anywhere from 18 to 65 years old at our residential.
Wow.
So, it can touch any age and any person. And we also do adolescence counseling. So we have counseling for children as well. And we have a prevention program that we're in all the county schools. And we have an after-school program running right now. And that's for anybody. So as long as you can bring your kid to the Field of Hope, they can go to Field of Hope and sign up. We have an after-school program for 2 days a week, 3 hours long. We feed them. We do a prevention group with them. And then they usually do a fun craft.
Love that. That's win-win for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a full-size renovated gym. When we bought the building, I'm not exaggerating, there was probably 6 inches of dead pigeons and pigeon guano in that gym. The wood floor was all raised up. And we
that sounds awful.
It was awful.
We roped it off because that was, in my opinion, the biggest health hazard. I didn't want anybody exposed to that. We roped it all off. And I thought the only way to clean this up is with a vacuum truck. Well, in my time with AEP, I knew they could do that. They could bring a vacuum truck in. They can do spray, do disinfectants and so forth. So we actually had a person from the AEP Gavin plant volunteers say, you know, we're going to come and help you with that. Brought vacuum
Wow.
trucks, vacuumed up all that mess, sprayed down disinfectant, wall, ceiling, floor.
Oh my gosh.
And when it was all over, we were talking about who's going to pay for it. And I said, what's our part? And they said, oh, why do you want a part? I said, I don't. I'm just trying to be nice. So they said, they said, oh, we'll do this for you. So that was,
Man.
I don't know how much that would have cost, tens of thousands of
Oh,
dollars.
yes.
But they took care of that for us. We had lots of community partners through the years. We're faith-based. We pray every morning around a little fountain in our entryway and ask God's help, give us direction for the day.
Sure.
And He sure shows up.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you all are doing amazing work, and that's why.
Amen.
So let's talk for a minute about who is a candidate to come and receive help from you, or do you accept volunteers? You know, how does the whole structure of Field of Hope work?
Well, we're a mix. We have volunteers. We have a paid staff. Right now, I think we have full-time 24 paid staff.
Wow.
And we've also do some part-time contracting. And the really cool thing is, I mentioned the fact that we're faith-based, and that's, well, our treatment, everybody has a philosophy of treatment. We go
Yes.
back to what you'd call the traditional 12-step,
Okay.
which is, it's faith-based. It talks about a higher power. And so that's our philosophy of treatment we use. But we have ladies that come into our residential from all different avenues. Amber, you're probably best to talk about that.
Yeah, we have right now probably about 4 to 5 different churches and organizations that come in and just minister to our girls weekly. So they come in and they're like, I just want to feed them and talk to them and, hang out with them. So sometimes they'll just come cook them a meal and hang out with them.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
awesome.
they do a little presentation and talk to them and just check in with them and see how they're doing. So they do lots of different things for our girls from out in the community. So it's really nice. We have, I think it's a total of 5 right now, different places that come in. Actually 6 if you count the ones in evenings. We have some come during the day and some come in the evening that volunteer with them. And we can house up to 52 altogether.
Oh, wow.
So we have a residential
great.
and then a step down and 2 recovery houses. So they kind of go through the program through each step, and we set them up to meet with these volunteers weekly as they come in. We have like a workout group. A lady comes in and does a Revelation Wellness with them one day.
Cool.
So that's kind of part of that. So they do a lot of different things.
What is everyone's road to recovery? I assume that it's not cookie cutter. Is everyone's road to recovery different, and you just have to figure out what works for that particular human?
Yes.
That's such a great question, because when someone to start the process has to call, of course, the person has to that's seeking treatment.
Yeah.
Their loved one can't call and say, hey, my daughter, sister, whatever.
You need to come get them and lock them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
no,
to
it
want
doesn't
the
work
We
that
treatment.
can't
way.
do that.
And when people ask what's the length of the program, what's it look like, you just gave us the answer. They're all different. It
Yeah.
depends on where they are in their recovery, if they're just starting, if they're coming from a place where maybe they've gone through some kind of a treatment program a little bit or something. So it's different for everybody. It is absolutely tailored. All of our clinicians are certified by the state, so they have their credentials. They know how to assess somebody, let's say, and design a treatment program for them. So, and we had one of our great success stories. There's been a lot of them. We had a lady that stayed with us just shy of 2 years, and
Really?
yeah, and she got her feet on the ground, got a job. Is doing great, and we don't put a timetable on them. There's a couple reasons for secrets to our success. We actually, bleed was very high, so we hired a third-party contractor to calculate our success rate, and they took a sampling of 256 people who had completed their program. We didn't count the ones that left early, completed their program. They gave us a 95.7.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's pretty much unheard of.
Yeah.
And one reason is, and I believe the faith-based piece is part of that. Another reason is that we stick with them once they get through the program, put them in sober living. Just to be honest, I'm going to try to say this in the best way I can. Financially, you're probably a break even at that point. But instead of, you still stick with them, because our primary goal is to see them have success in life,
You know,
see them get their feet on the ground.
Yeah, you've gone that far. We're gonna not let you go now.
That's right.
What about payment for this? You know, somebody's sitting out there listening to this today saying, oh my gosh, this sounds like the place I need to go, but I can't afford it, or, you know, whatever.
So when they call in and do the screening sheet, now for adolescents, the parents can call, but for an adult, the adult has to call. And we take Medicaid insurance and then self-pay. We do not take private insurances right now.
Okay.
But for most people, and if you don't have insurance, call us. We'll help you get set up with Medicaid. We can help get that set up.
There you
to
go.
get that ball rolling to help
because that's
them.
a whole complicated process in itself that people feel like, I have no idea where to even start with that.
Yes.
But it's 100%
Yeah.
free
Okay.
if they have Medicaid.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
mean, we feed them, house them, the treatment services and all, there's no charge.
No.
So usually when folks come in, I mean, let's just be honest, they're in a hard place. And we understand that. And we don't want to add some kind of economic
Right.
burden on the family.
Stress
who's
you out on
already-
top of already being stressed out.
Yes.
Yeah. And the very cool thing is, like right now, we have 12 girls working full-time jobs. So by the time they get to sober living, and the reason we walk through them is they get jobs. Now I have 5 with vehicles, so they've paid off their fines, got vehicles, they're legal.
Oh, that's great.
They've got a job, and now they can go back out into the community and work and be successful and get their children back. So that's the main reason we stick with them so long too, is because that's overwhelming. I mean, when I first got clean and had to go back to work, I'm like, oh man, I got to be a mom, I got to go to schools, I have to work a job, I have to pay bills. So that can be very overwhelming. So we want to walk with them through that process till they get sturdy on their feet,
Yeah.
get all those things set up so they don't have to be so overwhelmed when they go out in the world to that.
You know, I love that. And I say this a lot here on the show, I had a very good friend when we were opening our first restaurant tell me, don't reinvent the wheel. You're not smarter than anybody else. And I said, okay. And that stuck with me. He said that. And I was like, you're so right about that. And so what you're doing is proven time and time again. And I think that's just absolutely amazing. And what you're doing for these ladies and gentlemen and kids are, is just unbelievable. So, what worked for you? How, like, was there just one day where you were like, I'm over this? Or when did it change?
The last time I got in trouble in 2010 and sentenced to jail, I was sick of going to jail. I was sick of losing my daughter. I didn't really see a way out. I thought I'd spend the rest of my life in jail.
Okay.
And when I was able to get out, I was clean for 8 months before I went to prison the second time and on house arrest. That did it for me. I had to stay home. I was with my daughter. I seen how much fun I could have with her, the joy in being a new kind of normal, I call
Okay.
it. And, you know, just being able to spend time with my family, joined a recovery group, started having recovery meetings at my parents' house because I was on house arrest. And I mean, I went to prison. I still went to prison after those 8 months. And I was still probably, you know, I wanted that life. I just wasn't sure how to get it. And there was actually a day in prison where it's just like, this stinks. It's not fun anymore. Like, this
Like
is
it's not funny, and this is just
and I'm
dumb.
over it. And I prayed on my lockbox for like over an hour, and God answered my prayer. And ever since then, I have not looked back.
Wow.
You know, it was a really tough time, and He showed up and showed out and gave me that hope. And I had my family, and I hadn't had that. My family still didn't trust me. You know, it took them a
And you
long
understand
time.
why.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I lost custody of my daughter. So I was out a year. She was 10 before I got custody of her back. But, you know, I told them I don't want her back till I know I'm going to be okay to get her. And
That's
then, you know, you have
crazy.
to know it
Good.
takes time. 20 years of addiction wasn't going to be cured in a year in prison when I'm away from my family. So, you know, you have to give your family and people that time to see you as a different person. And it took a while for law enforcement too. You know, they'd be like, "Oh, there's that girl. She's walking in Walmart. Why is
Right.
she
Like,
free?"
what is she doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
So it takes a while, but you know, I use that fight to always where I fought to use. I'm gonna fight to show you I can be something different.
Love
So I
that
just
story.
turned that around
Good
to
for you.
Motivation.
Prison was a rocky road, don't get me wrong, but the first time she went up was Franklin pre-release just south of Columbus. We got to be really good friends with the chaplain there, just an incredible man. He's passed away now, John Culp. And we had a praise team at the time. We had a Galley Strong Tower was our recovery ministry. And we talked to the chaplain. We were able to go up there and have some services for the girls. And I told him, I said, we could reach them all if you'd let us have a service out in the courtyard. There was 500 women there.
Wow.
And
Okay.
he's like, well, I don't think the state chaplain will approve it. I said, listen, brother, I'm going to pray all week if you'll just ask. We came back the next weekend. He had this gigantic smile on his face. I said, you don't have to say a word. And we set up, we had this rally. He called it a crusade. We cooked food for all the inmates and the guards and everybody, like 800 pieces of Steve Evans sausage.
Nice.
And sandwiches and everything that went with it. We set up the praise band. All the ladies started coming. He said, now it's volunteer, but we figured we had 450 out of the 500. We had a little prayer circle down there. I've never been in a service like that before. We had over 100 decisions. And we had a group of women who prayed with them as they came forward. It was just, it was a surreal day.
That's awesome.
And even though prison's tough, God saw us through some amazing times. And through Amber's being there, he just opened up a lot of doors. And it was pretty cool. I asked, where's, just to show some of Amber's leadership qualities, I said, where's, her name wasn't Richard at the time, it was something else. I said, where's Amber? And they said, oh, yeah, the girl thinks she runs this place. She's down there. So.
Hey, you could be called worse, right?
That's right. Yeah. You got to be a leader somewhere. You might as well do it everywhere.
Yes, exactly. Well, let's talk about your event that you have coming up. It's tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yes, 9 to 11 a.m., our 12th annual celebration. It grows every year. We're expecting over 300 people this year. It just continues to grow.
Awesome.
One of our things that we call it Recovery to Work, to give the people who go through our program a good place to work. Many times they find entry-level jobs. Those are tough to make a start in life on.
Yes.
So we're starting a series of businesses. The first one's built. It's called the Old School Cafe. It's a cafe. We're going to be hiring our girls to help cook and serve and so forth. And we're going to be serving food for that for the first time tomorrow morning, starting at 9 o'clock.
Very cool.
And we're bringing a taste of Louisiana. We're having beignets from the Cafe du Monde.
Oh
We got
my
their mix.
gosh.
We have talked to the chef down there, and we have figured out how to make a perfect beignet.
Okay, I need to
Oh,
talk
they're
to
so
you.
good.
We need to, yes. My husband and I
Yes.
were just having this discussion, so we'll talk later.
Excellent. And many other things, different types of food, waffles, bacon, so forth from our cafe. Ryan Smith, president of Rye Grain University, is going to be our keynote speaker.
Very
We're
good.
going to have drama that the girls are involved in. One of the favorite times at the end, we call it the hot mic. We pass the mic, and ladies who have been through our program and men have an opportunity to say how their life has changed, what God's done in their life. So all those things will happen tomorrow from 9 to 11 at the Field of Hope, 11821 State Route 160, Benton, Ohio.
That's right. And everybody's welcome.
Yes, and it's
Amen.
free. Free event. Everybody's welcome. Bring
Free
the
food.
kids. It's a good time. You got free food. You get to hear some awesome stories. I think last year we had about 50 people lined up just telling a piece of their story just for a couple of
Wow.
minutes. Kids of their parents that had had their lives changed through their parents changing, husbands, the women. So it's a very good time to come out and just see what our community's doing.
Absolutely love that. And thank you for what you're doing. And the fact that somebody looked across the field and saw an old rundown school and had this vision for what it would be is just how it even got started is unbelievable.
Amen. It really is. And that pastor is gone now. He passed away. He has his own story. He's got a book out called Wheelchair for Sale. He was in a wheelchair over a year, and God miraculously healed him. He just
Wow.
started walking one morning, and God had spoken to him in the middle of the night and said, today's the day of your healing. It's for such a time as this. And so that pastor has gone on now, but he truly led I don't know how to say it, led by the Spirit of God. That defined that man. And that's how this the whole Field of Hope vision became reality.
And he always told me something that stuck with me. So if you're out there and lost, people say, well, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep going. Well, he said, with God, there isn't just light at the end of the tunnel. He shines the light while you're walking through the tunnel, because he doesn't say it's going to be easy and it's all going to be, you know, rainbows at the end, but you have somebody walking with you to the end. And
Love
I like
that.
to think of Field of Hope as that I tell our ladies all the time, if you don't have family and you don't have someone, let us be that, you know, hand to stand beside you and walk through this program with you and get your life back.
Amen.
That is awesome. And she's bossy, so it's good. We'll say you're a good leader. How's
Thank
that?
you. That sounds,
Yes.
yeah.
Amen.
No, I was just wondering, and I know obviously your success rate is very, very high, but for you personally, is overcoming addiction, I don't know what the proper word is it still a daily struggle for you, or is it something that you feel like, oh, I got this?
So this October, I'll have 15 years clean, by the grace of God. And I'm going to say it was hard at first, especially, I mean, I had 2 years clean in prison, coming out to Gallipolis. You see all your old people, but I tell people, remember the dodgeball movie, dunk, dive, dodge, and get out of the way. So if I see people, I am dunking, I am dodging, if I should not be around them. And like, I remember them saying like, you know, why you think you're too good for us now? No, I care about myself today. So I'm not going to put myself in that position. So I'm just going to run. I'm not a coward and I don't run, but I love my life today. So, you know, I'm going to run. So I stayed away from people, found a new community. That is so important, to find new people in a new community. I found, you know, groups within my 12-step groups, a whole new family and friends to hang out with in a new life. And it is hard. There's times that it's hard, but the longer I've been clean, like the craving's not so much there like it used to be. I mean, every once in a while it's like, man, but then you're like, why would I ever?
Yeah, like
you've came so far. There's
Right.
nothing that could ever make me want to go back at this point, I feel like, but I'll never say I'm there, because, you know, God says pride comes before a fall. So it's always within me that something could happen. But today I feel strong enough to know, like, that's not a life I want to live, and getting to work in it every day. So I have 4 full-time employees that came through our program.
Wow.
They was clean a year when they got out and work, and before they came to work there. 2 are supervisors. And working in recovery every day. So I get to tell my story every day. I get to help these girls every day. That helps keep me clean too.
I
They
can
think
see
it's
that.
for them,
Amen.
but it's for me too. It helps
Yeah.
me to stay in it. So it gets easier. And as long as you have the right people around you and the right community, it makes it even better.
You know, and I think that's the key from what I've heard from other people. Is you got to get those friends that you had, unfortunately,
Yes.
kind of separate from them, and I think you were fortunate you had family that cared, and but you don't have to have blood relatives. You can create your own family
Yes.
around you, and that's what you all are here for,
Yeah.
to begin that.
Yeah,
Amen.
we want to be that support until they can find their other support outside of there. And that's why we bring in so many volunteers and people in the community, because when they leave us, I want them to have that support out in the community. So I don't care if it's with this church or with this organization, as long as it's a good place.
Yes.
And they can help you. That's what you need. It doesn't matter, you know, the what place it is, as long as they have that community set up and they're willing to help them.
Amen.
Very good.
Oh, and volunteers you mentioned. You can
Yes.
fill out a form. If you
Okay.
would like to volunteer, Field of Hope has forms you can fill out, like for what you would like to do. It just asks some general information. I just had like 5 new ones sign up a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
So people can come
Fun,
and
fun.
volunteer to see the girls. And if there's anybody out there that likes to be sponsors for girls, we would love for you to call. Our girls are always looking for sponsors or mentors. So they can get a sponsor for NA and AA, and then like a mentor or spiritual sponsor to come alongside them. So if you're
Wonderful.
looking for a way to help, just call us and we'll figure out a way that you can help.
Love that. And do you have some social media or anything that people can tune into?
Savannah's actually with us today. She's our
Yes.
social media manager.
Hi, Savannah.
We have a very active Facebook page. Of course, we have a website that's in progress right now. I don't know.
Facebook, Instagram, we have some YouTube, TikToks. So
All the stuff
she's
and
been
things.
all over it. Yes, trying to get in it. So we have a lot of social media in our Facebook. Either Savannah or I's quick to respond to Messenger.
Awesome.
And then, you know, people, if they just want to come and tour and look at the place too, we'd love to have people come. So come on
Okay.
out to Field of Hope and
Yes.
come and to tour, see the place. Like I said, the cafe is going to be opening soon, so that'll be open to the public. So we'll have coffees,
Nice.
lattes, beignets, and All of our menu open to the public, and our food pantry on Mondays is every day 2 to 4. So if you're a family that needs some help with some food for the month, so that's every Monday 2 to 4 as well.
You all are amazing. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you for
That's
having us.
Great, of course. Come back anytime.
Excellent.
All right. Well, we do. I believe that is the Easter Bunny here.
Yeah, out in the hallway.
Oh my gosh, the Easter! You guys made the Easter Bunny wait in the hallway. We're gonna all be in trouble.
No Easter eggs.
Oh no! All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you all for stopping by. We are going to have another message, and we'll be back with our friends from Buckeye Furnace. Just a second.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock in the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
Oh my goodness! And we are back with our friends from Buckeye Furnace, and welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
I like your shirt.
Yeah, I like that too.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Yes, we're going to have our Easter egg hunt Saturday, which is tomorrow at exactly 12 noon.
Very good.
So come on out, no registration necessary. You just stand there till we yell go.
At Buckeye Furnace.
At Buckeye Furnace. There's 5,000 stuffed eggs, lots of Easter basket prizes, and lots of other prizes, and it's just fun. We have 3 age groups. The little fenced-in area around the house, as we refer to it, is for 0 to 4.
Okay.
And then on down around the parking lot, which might be moved because of all the rain we had last week. We may end up moving them over in front of the museum, but normally they're around the parking lot down there for the 5 to 9-year-olds. And then across the road on the hillside is all the others.
All the others.
All the others.
So 9,
10 and up.
10 and up.
Yep.
Up to where?
Up.
Just don't care.
We don't care.
Okay.
We don't care.
Adults out there throwing elbows. I can see it now.
Yeah, there's lots of different people that want to hunt eggs, and we like to welcome them all.
I think that's amazing. Boy, the Easter Bunny here. Thank you for stopping by this morning. I mean, I know that you have a very, very busy week or so ahead. And are you tired from laying all those 5,000 eggs?
Yeah. This is Harvey. Harvey helps us out every year.
Harvey, we appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, Harvey's pretty good.
Harvey doesn't have a lot of words.
No, Harvey's very tired.
Yes.
Been
I can
running like
see.
crazy.
Listen, it's hard work laying all those eggs.
They don't lay them. He hides them and delivers them.
Oh, I thought
the chickens lay them.
Oh, I thought that the Easter Bunny laid all the eggs.
No, that's an old wives' tale.
Gosh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I know. You know, they leave presents, but they're not good ones. Okay, so we're happy.
Harvey, do you clean up after yourself? Yeah. Okay. All right. Very good. So, how long have you been doing the Easter egg hunt out at Buckeye Furnace?
I've lost track.
So have I.
A long time. At least, what would you say, about 15 years?
At least.
Yeah. And
a few years ago, you started it.
A few years ago, we started it, and started out with a couple thousand eggs, and now we're up over 5,000. And this year, we have a great new addition, which we'll let Kathy tell you about that.
Kathy, tell us all about it.
Well, we are very pleased to announce that Wellston Lions Club has co-sponsored the event this year with us. So, yay!
Yeah, big help. The ladies that have come out and helped us, they came out last year and helped us hide the eggs and stuff, and then they committed to being a co-sponsor this year.
That is
So,
amazing.
of the 5,000 eggs, they provided half of them stuffed and everything,
Wow.
and they provided half the prizes, and they're going to come help us hide them.
So how do the prizes work exactly? Because, I know little kids, eggs are fun to find, but it's also fun to win something else.
Well, since they're plastic eggs and they're full of candy,
Mm-hmm.
and we recommend that you don't open them while you're hunting. Get them, and then once the eggs are all found,
Not
sit,
unless you don't want any more
Yeah.
eggs than one.
sit down and start popping them open, and they'll be in the prize eggs. There will be candy, but there will also be a little note that you unroll, and it says, "You have won a prize," or "You have won a basket." And you take those up to the front porch at the Iron Master's house, and the Easter Bunny will give you your prize, and you can get your photo taken.
With the Easter Bunny? So you'll be there tomorrow?
Yep.
Wow. Now, will you do pictures with all the kids that want their picture taken? Okay.
Even adults.
Even and some dogs. Some dogs have gotten their picture taken with the Easter Bunny too.
Okay.
We're fine with
Hey, bring the whole family,
anything
including
within
the dog.
reason. Yeah.
Iguanas, ferrets, whatever. Very funny. And no, it's so hilarious. We at the tap room one time we had pictures with Santa, and this lady came in and she had this what I thought swaddled baby, and she was waiting in line, and she's holding this baby, and I'm like, oh, a little baby, and I didn't want to bother her, whatever. I thought, well, I'll see baby whenever, So it finally gets to be her turn, and she's got this swaddled baby like this, and she unswaddles said baby, and it was this ginormous iguana.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I bet Santa said, oh, too.
Yeah, Santa was fine with it. We, got the picture and whatever, but I just thought it was the funniest thing because it was all wrapped up just like
Just like a little baby.
little baby.
Yeah.
And it probably was her little baby.
Probably was.
Yeah.
Probably was.
So fun story.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so what else do you all have going on at Buckeye Furnace? Because I know you have a lot of stuff planned for the summer.
We will be back probably at least 2 more times. The most advancing event is the one we have in June, our Vintage and Makers Market. And we've already got all the vendors signed up, ready to go, and they've already paid their fees. So we have got a great group, and Rachel says she's got 4 musicians lined up.
Yes.
That will play throughout the day.
So amazing.
And last year we had a what's that hunt they call?
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt for the kids, and that went over really big.
Yes.
It'll be back this year.
Really big.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody likes that.
And the museum's open, of course, and the gift shop, so people can come up there, look around, and shop also. And that is a really that event took off from the get-go. This
Oh
is
my
going to be the
gosh.
3rd year, and
Crazy.
so yeah, it's really great. We're having a lot of fun with that. And then in August, not everything's been worked out for it, but we like to do a family day camp once a year.
Okay.
And what it is, you can bring a carload of kids with you. We don't care. But one adult has to stay with them.
Okay.
And we have activities for the day. It might be a nature day. It might be an Underground Railroad day. It's some kind of a day for them to have fun. And we always provide 2 crafts for the kids to do and take home. But we provide the lunch. So we have that a registration event, and we try to keep it around 100 people, because by the time you feed 100 people, and we don't feed lightly. No, we have baked ham, homemade bread, homemade ice cream, homemade butter, oh my gosh, baked beans,
all the stuff.
And it's and the adults are included in that. We want to get them out there, let them enjoy the day, have fun, and It's an event that we like because larger families, they can all come, and it's not going to cost them anything because we provide it. The whole day is free. The crafts are free. The food's free. The education is free, and it's just a fun day. So that's our family day camp day, and then
Love that.
course our major event that we really work hard on all year is our fall festival. Always the first Saturday in October. And this one's looking even bigger and better. Just as a small hint, we're working on adding a car show this year.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
You want to? Oh man, you all want to blow that thing out of the water, aren't you?
We already have a guy in charge of that for us. And so we're looking forward to adding a car show, and in addition to everything else that we do, which is so much. The pie eating contest for kids and the pie eating contest for grown-ups. And a favorite one that has grown is the hog calling contest for grown-ups and the hog calling contest for kids.
Yep. Here, piggy, 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 piggy.
Yep, and the men's beard contest.
Yes.
And the women's skillet toss, which is always a favorite.
So here's the thing, ladies. If you're feeling a little ragey, you can take all that rage out by throwing a skillet at, what's the guy's name?
Well, he's battered and beaten, so we may have to get a new guy this year.
We may have to get a new guy.
And we just let him call him, one lady.
Whatever they want to call him.
One lady, one year, she ran out and wrote some man's name on it in lipstick. And then she went back and proceeded to wail on it. But, you get to throw.
I like it.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to throw a skillet at a fake dude?
At a wooden man, yeah.
Yes.
And the winner of that contest gets a free set of cast iron cookware.
Now, that's something.
So the men really encourage the ladies to do it.
Go wing that sucker so we can get some really good cookware out of this situation.
They want it for camping. Yeah, like that, cast iron for camping. So.
Hey, I cook in cast iron all the time, so yeah, love it.
My grandma always cooked everything in cast iron.
And the ickier it gets, the better it tastes, right?
Right. And you don't wash it, you wipe it out.
You wipe it out.
And season it, and you're ready to go.
You are correct on that. All right, well, let's talk, go back to the Easter egg hunt. Our good friend Pete Wilson is here. He has on jeans. You're freaking me out, Pete.
I've got a cold ball game tonight.
Oh, cold ball game tonight.
That's my
Okay,
excuse.
we'll give you that.
I washed the jeans and everything, so I can.
You did wash them. Okay,
I did.
that's okay.
Just don't look too careful.
You're allowed to wear jeans. It's just not normal Pete Wilson attire.
You're right.
Yeah. So he's always so professional. Not that jeans aren't professional.
Okay.
But yes. But no, let's talk about the Easter egg hunt again. You will get to see the Easter bunny.
Yep, Harvey will be there.
Harvey is a man of not many words.
Yes. Although Harvey's been kind of secretly talking to us, Harvey wants to bring Mrs. Harvey. So maybe not this year, but maybe next year we will have a Mrs. Harvey there too. We're thinking about it seriously. But, you got to hire 2 rabbits. It's.
I don't know. What do you do with 2 rabbits?
Well, we got 2 rocking chairs on the front porch, so that'll work.
Love it. Love it.
So it'll be fun. And like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. Exactly 12 noon.
Exactly 12 noon. 5,000 Easter eggs to be hunted. Lots of fun prizes that the kids can win.
Yeah, it's just fun. Just come and be a kid and have fun.
And if you don't know how to get to Buckeye Furnace, don't worry about it. Just throw it in your GPS or your phone, and it'll get you there.
Say, hey, Siri.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll work.
Say that to that
We're there,
lady.
or just follow the traffic.
That too. Mm-hmm. Very good. So, well, thank you all for stopping by. We greatly appreciate it. Harvey, I hope you have a great day tomorrow, and thank you for doing what you do. Okay.
A rabbit of little words.
Yep. Thanks for, I guess you didn't lay all the eggs. I thought you did, but that would be bad, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you, girls. Come back and see us anytime. Keep us updated on what's going on at Buckeye Furnace. And we do have Pete Wilson here waiting in the wings, so we have another message, and we'll be right back.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are back, and Pete and I are running because we're trying to get situated. So, yeah, welcome.
Welcome, yes. Thank you. I am here.
Yes.
Right.
Very good. Thank you for stopping by. I know we talked a lot about news yesterday, but there's still yet more to talk about.
Oh, yes, there's a whole lot going on. You know, we talked to the Buckeye Furnace friends, but there's much more. We're going to try to touch on a little bit of everything real quickly. But at the top of the news, this will be a big story that we'll have in our Saturday paper in a little bit more detail. This just comes out of the federal district court, but a man with local connections, his name is Cody L. Prater, 27 years old, got a MacArthur address.
Yeah.
He was indicted on child pornography charges, major child pornography charges. This was one that was prosecuted federally rather than locally or even state.
Yeah.
And Mr. Prater was already a convicted sex offender, all right, before all this happened. But as a result of this federal investigation that involved the United States District Court, the United States Attorney's Office, also Homeland Security involved, ICE was even involved in this for some reason. But according to the indictment, in a period of about a year, starting in August 2023 through July 2024, Prater allegedly committed numerous child pornography and obscenity crimes. He also allegedly attempted to hide these crimes by using a computer operating system that is designed to leave no traces of internet activity on the digital devices that he was using.
Okay.
Because, a lot of times, these things are on there and you can retrieve them. Well, he had some equipment to try to avoid that.
Wow.
He allegedly received child pornography depicting children as young as infants and toddlers that included sadistic and masochistic abuse. We can only imagine what that might be. It is also alleged that he received digital files of computer-generated minors engaged in bestiality and sex acts with adults and subjected to sadistic and masochistic abuse. He also possessed online visual depictions of child mutilation and torture. Now, we probably should have put up an R before I gave my newscast, but we have no visual, of course, or anything. But this was this came out.
Yikes!
This came out on a statewide news release, and if there's something regional or in the area that is relevant, we report that. And in this case, it definitely is, as Mr. Prater is a MacArthur or was a MacArthur resident of record, at least at the time of this.
I don't know that I've heard such words in my life.
Right. Well,
nor do I ever want to hear them again.
Well, one thing about it, there in this electronic age where, there's things going on social media and the internet that you shouldn't have, I think the authorities have become, at all levels, even through the local levels, much more sophisticated in being able to track these things and to be able to bring enough evidence of what somebody did that they shouldn't do. Because we've had a lot of more indictments in the last year or two for this type of activity.
Yes.
Where, you're on the computer doing things you shouldn't do, transmitting things, sending things, downloading things even, then you can't do it. It's a no-no.
Yep.
So we will certainly follow that case, and a lot of what I just said and more will be in our newspaper article that will appear in Saturday's paper. Okay, they is the city of Jackson and the citizens of Jackson had their second town hall meeting.
Yes.
And I want to tell you about it. I was there. They did it Thursday at noon. They did it in the conference room at the mayor's office. And like the first town hall meeting that was at the city council chambers, it was all the we, not the other, who was there. We had citizens of Jackson people. We had city of Jackson people. Mayor Randy Evans and other city officials. Some councilmen were there. Amanda Crabtree, who is the treasurer of Citizens for Jackson, was there, and she was kind of the moderator, and they did a different format that I think will be more effective as far as potentially reaching out to the citizenry to get more information out there. They did a Facebook Live, and also it is posted on Citizens for Jackson, so even though you weren't there or you weren't listening when it was live, you could go hear it. Took about an hour, almost an hour, and it was very interesting. What she did was, some of the things that's been on social media where somebody's asking a question, maybe a critical question even, or making a complaint, opining or whatever, some of it positive, some not. She took some of these comments and questions and threw them right out to the city officials. Mayor Randy Evans had to ask a lot of questions. City Auditor Brett Reed had to answer some questions. Police Chief Brett Hinch was a main participant too. And they had no teleprompters or anything. Amanda had a list of these questions and comments that she handed out at the beginning, and the city officials had to basically answer these questions on the run.
How interesting.
It was very interesting, and so it wasn't a set-up deal at all. And so, if you're really interested and you want to know a little bit more, whether you're a opponent, or not sure, and you're going to vote, and you want to be more informed, and you want to hear from the people that are running the campaign and the people that are running the city, this is a way to do it. Because I was at both meetings, and I'll have to say there was not one member of the public there to directly face-to-face ask a question or even make a complaint.
Yep.
So what does that mean? I think it means that people value their time, and they might be interested, but not interested enough to show up.
Sure.
So hopefully this will be a way to kind of bridge that gap a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once again, that is the Citizens for Jackson Facebook page.
Because I was looking on the City of Jackson Facebook page last night thinking it was on there, and I couldn't find it, so I was wondering.
Citizens for Jackson. It's not on the City of Jackson Facebook page because they try to separate the campaign type things from city operations per se. But once again, just some background information. The city is trying to continue a 1.5% city income tax that was first passed in 2020. It remains in effect based on a 5-year sunset clause through the end of the year. But if they can't get it passed before the end of the year, it will expire.
Yes.
And they were very clear about it on the gloom and doom, how it would affect the city if they don't have that money. They cannot fund a lot of the city the way they used to by reimbursing off utility or transferring utility money. It was always in doubt, but the state put its foot down about 5 or 6 years ago and said, we're either not going to let you do this, or if you do this,
You're in trouble.
We may pull the plug on you. And that's actually what they started to do in 2017. But most cities and many villages in the state of Ohio, fact now, have an income tax. And some of them are a little less than Jackson, but some are even more. We have a 2% and a 2.5% in southeastern Ohio. So anyway, a lot of information there. We are writing articles. We'll have one in Saturday's paper about the first town hall meeting, which was not a waste of time because they had a nice roundtable discussion.
That's good, and you can tune into it at your convenience.
Right, about the issues and the problems and like that. So we have a pretty detailed article on that. Okay, speaking of politics and things happening out in the public, there will be a rally tomorrow at Manpower Park in Jackson. This was in support of public education. A lot of the public school people from not only the Jackson City schools, but I know that they hope to get participation from Wellston, Oak Hill, and Vinton County as well, kind of like a 2-county deal.
Sure.
To rally in support of public education because of the negotiations going on with the upcoming state budget. It has to be approved on July 1st. That'll be 2 years on what the state gives public schools. Public schools in this area count on state funding more than some of the more wealthy districts in other areas. Because the property tax only brings in so much money.
Right.
You can do a local income tax. That might be a little bit harder to pass. Schools can do income taxes, but they hope that they can get enough state funding to be able to operate the schools. Now, when this rally was first scheduled, the proposed budget was very unfavorable. It had all of our districts losing money.
Yes.
It has since got better. I didn't know whether you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, Phil Howard reported this. Jackson Superintendent of Schools Phil Howard reported this at the last school board meeting just earlier this week. It's still not as good as they would like it, but for the most part, they're not losing money. They're gaining a little bit of money, but there's other things in there on how they're going to fund in the future that worry them. So
Okay.
they're going to rally. They're still going to rally, and for what they think public education needs,
Well-
and living up to what is called the Fair School Funding Plan. And I can't give you the details of what that is, but they believe that what the state is proposing does not live up to what that is.
Okay, so this is a perfect opportunity for you to get all the information on that.
Right. It's 2 to 4 p.m. at Manpower Park, open to the public. Not sure of the format, but I'm sure there's going to be some different speakers. I know that the Jackson City Education President, Jessica Huntley Harper, has been out in front of this. I'm sure that she will be speaking. There will be other speakers as well, maybe representing some of these other school districts, maybe somebody from the OEA, that's the Ohio Education Association. Not sure on that, but a budget has to be in place by July the 1st. And it is a evolving, changing, moving target. The governor proposes, the House, the Ohio House, looks at that, they figure up, okay, this is what we'll do, Gov. Senate says, this is what we'll do, Gov. And then they get together in a conference committee and decide. So you have to keep talking, keep lobbying.
You do. You have to be your own advocate.
Right, and this is true too. I don't have all the details on this, but I'll drop this out. A lot of the library folks were worried about their funding based on the proposals, and it is better than it used to be. They have already made some ground because of their lobbying. It's still not exactly what they think it should be, but it's better.
Good.
So we'll try to cover that story as well. Okay, want to tell you about some other things that are going on the sports side. Hey, we got in some games this week because
I don't know how, but
because, it was not the warmest weather in the world, but they were able to play, and we're talking about all the sports: baseball, softball, track, tennis, etc. But we had a school record broken by a freshman at Jackson High School, and it goes back a long time. Parker Curtis, who is a freshman, broke a 35-year-old school record with a throw of 35 feet 10 inches. There is Parker right there. She has a lot of reason to smile.
As a freshman?
Right, as a freshman, this is this is the shot put. That's a big iron ball she's holding.
Yes.
It's heavier than it looks. But she broke a record set by Kalina Cooper.
Okay.
And we know how athletic Kalina was. So congratulations to Parker, and so we'll see how she does the rest of the school year.
Very cool.
Hey, I went to the dress rehearsal of the Wellston Rotary Show last night, and I am recommending that you go see it. I'm giving it a positive review. First of all, 60s music, it's probably going to get me anyway.
Yes.
I'm one of those ones, and I tell you what, I feel sorry for the current generation and even the generations back 2 and 3 decades, because they didn't get a chance to firsthand hear the 70s music, and then before that, the 60s music, and before that, the 50s. They probably don't know how good it was.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not saying that it isn't what it used to be, but I kind of thought music died in the 80s. I don't know.
It can be argued, yes.
Yeah, you're a child of a different generation, but the 60s and 70s music was great, and Dorothy Riepenhoff, Dana Wiseman, who is the interlocutor, did a great job. The Endmen were funny.
Awesome.
But you have the Beatles, you have the Beach Boys, you have Simon and Garfunkel music, you have Motown. They had all that there.
So much variety within those decades.
Right, and those folks worked so hard to do this. And I will tell you this, I know that. Did they hint about a big surprise maybe when they were here?
They did.
Well, there is one. I can't give it away. They told me I couldn't do it, but I saw what it was going to be. It is worth going to see it and hear it. I think it will. If it doesn't melt your heart, you're not a human being.
That's awesome.
I'll just say that much. But only costs $2 to go, general admission, $2.
Yeah.
And if you sit in the first 3 rows, it costs you $5.
Oh, my gosh.
So 7 o'clock tonight at Wellston High School, 7 o'clock Saturday night at Wellston High School. Okay, some other things quickly we're going to tell you about. The Viking Band Program is doing an extravaganza at the high school this Saturday. It'll start at 4 p.m. All the bands throughout the program will play from the youngest to the oldest. Then they'll throw them all together and they'll perform a couple numbers at the very end. There'll be chicken noodle dinner, raffles, all that stuff. Kind of like what the Spring Fling is down here in Jackson.
Yeah.
Very similar. It's a great fundraiser and also a great community event as well.
Yep.
The Vinton County 4-H Council is doing a noodle dinner and auction also tomorrow, late afternoon and into the evening. Starts at 4 o'clock at Central Elementary School in MacArthur. This is a big fundraiser for the 4-H scholarships. So I think you could hit both those things if you're a Vinton County.
Listen, if you say there's not anything going on this weekend, you're under a rock somewhere.
Hey, you're right, and we got to do equal time on a couple other Easter egg hunts. The Freedom Chapel Church is doing one tomorrow. That's on West Broadway Street in Wellston as you're going up the hill out of town. If you're coming from Wellston, they'll have a special guest there. I'm guessing that might be the Easter Bunny. They'll also have free hot dogs, chips, and drinks. It will be outdoors, rain or shine, and it will be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And this is a new one as well. I don't remember them doing it this last year, but the Bloomfield All-Stars 4-H Club and the Bloomfield Volunteer Fire Department is having a big egg hunt tomorrow at the old site of the Bloomfield School. That's on Dixon Run Road. It's where the school used to be. And it will be starting at noon. And they will have a lot of eggs, and they're dividing the competition up by grade level. So it'll be very fair all the way. So those 3 egg hunts, there's a bunch next week too. We'll tell you about those when they happen. And also on the Easter category, there's going to be a Hip Hop Hooray Easter photo op at 6 Cents brewing tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mikey Strite will be there to take pictures.
That's right.
They'll have a 2-hour period where they will allow pets in for pictures.
Yeah, you just can't be in there with your dog after we open.
Right, after 11. Yeah, we understand that.
Yeah.
But then from 11 to 1, it can be people from 9 to 1. It can be just the pets and people from 9 to 11. And then I think it's on a donation basis.
We did that last year, and we had people lined up out the door all morning long, and there were so many cute pet pictures too. So bring your pets. It's fine. I was just kidding about the iguana earlier, but bring your iguana if you want. We don't care. Just got to get out of there before we open.
Okay.
Health department frowns upon that.
No, I can understand that. Well, that's great that you're able to host that. And of course,
love it. And it's for the Rotary.
That raises money for the Rotary Club. And all the things that the Rotary Club does in Jackson or Wellston, because that's a fundraiser, the Rotary Show too. They just put the money right back into the community.
You got it.
For kids, scholarships,
it's all
and
good.
so much more.
You got it.
Okay.
All right. And it's fun.
It is. It will be. And I think, we're going to get by with decent weather. Maybe not as warm as we would like, but, it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to rain on us.
That's right. All right. Well, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Temperatures warming up beginning of your work week. So hang in there. It's going to get better. So I hear anyway. But have a great weekend. Get out and about. Enjoy all of the Easter activities. And we will see you right back here on Monday. And thanks for stopping by, Pete. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.